This last round of primaries featured races in two really important political battlegrounds, Florida and Arizona, both states that are being watched closely for signs of not only how they'll swing in the 2018 midterms, but also how they could vote in the 2020 presidential election.
There are everyday, hardworking people in this state.
Florida really offered the biggest surprise of the night. Andrew Gillum, who's a liberal mayor of Tallahassee, defeated better funded and better known candidates in the Democratic gubernatorial primary. He had the backing of Bernie Sanders and really used grassroots energy and small dollar donations to overcome a pretty competitive Democratic field. And this sets up a really interesting race for governor in Florida. It's going to be Andrew Gillum versus Ron DeSantis, who's a favorite of President Donald Trump. Trump has tweeted repeatedly in support of DeSantis. DeSantis was out there on Fox News a lot, trying to draw the support of Trump's backers. So you really have these two candidates who represent sort of the far wings of their party who are going to be competing in this gubernatorial race. And whoever comes out of this race as the winner really gets an instant advantage in 2020. Arizona really delivered a victory for those Republicans who see themselves as more part of the establishment wing. Representative Martha McSally defeated two anti-establishment candidates, Joe Arpaio and Kelly Ward. They really split the vote of kind of the anti-establishment far-right conservatives in Arizona, which allowed McSally to sneak in there. What's interesting about McSally is that she really is in the model of John McCain, the late senator who represented Arizona for 6 terms. But she was well aware that McCain had become increasingly unpopular among Arizona Republicans. So her strategy was to align herself much more closely with Trump than with McCain in that primary, and it worked to her advantage. The primary in Arizona really comes at a time of political transition for this state. The seat that was on the ballot was the one that had been occupied by Senator Jeff Flake, but the Arizona governor is going to have to name a replacement for Senator John McCain in the next few days. So Arizona, which is a state that Democrats are really keeping an eye on and hoping to be able to push more to the left, is really in a moment of transition, of upheaval, and it could shape the way that state looks in political campaigns, not just for these midterms, but in the 2020 presidential election as well. So in Florida, Trump is really casting this as another example that he controls the Republican Party. He was out there early supporting Ron DeSantis, tweeted support for him frequently. Arizona is a bit of a different story. You had 3 Republicans who were running for the Senate nomination, and all of them were aligned with Trump, but Trump himself had never actually come out and endorsed one of them. So he has now said that he's backing Martha McSally, who will be the GOP nominee, but that was a race where he was treading a bit more carefully.